I say this all the time. If you loved socks, right? There's an entire market for people who love socks. Now, why there's no one doing it, I don't know why, but like, why there's no socks podcast or anything, like any niche market, if you're passionate about it, you will find your audience. There's over 8 billion people, or I think it's like 6 billion people in the world. So if even 5.5 billion people hate my podcast, then I'm fine with that.
Right.
You know. So the idea is knowing your market, being passionate about it, and being authentic. Yeah.
So, what would be your one piece of advice for anyone that wants to be a young entrepreneur?
For me, it would be, don't be afraid. If it's, is that there's this old quote. It's like, if it scares you, do it. So just like jump into it, but also pay attention. Learn the game, and also be patient. Just know that it's not going to happen overnight. Is that I've been doing this for a year, and I just I think it was in my 5th month to where I actually broke even. So, if I gave up 4 months in, I would have never known what it felt like to be like living in New York, teaching music, being very passionate about what I do. I think that's what it comes down to, is being patient, being passionate, and being authentic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's huge.
All right, so Walt, what is your fear as a business owner then?
My fear is being comfy, right? Like, I think that the idea of finding like my comfort zone and calling it like the end, I think that's what scares me, because I think that what makes people interesting is constantly being interested in things and constantly trying to better themselves, both as businessmen and people. Okay. So I think that finding that comfort zone is extremely scary, and because the game's always changing, I think people should always change too.
So why don't you go ahead as a entrepreneur and define what success means to you?
All right, well, to me, success is about being happy. So success isn't a linear term, because it's different with everyone. Some people might be happy living in New York City teaching music lessons. Some people might be happy working in an office. Some people might be happy owning a company or something. So everything is different. Some people might be happy just sweeping the floors, and like having a great wife or whatever. So it's all different. For me, happiness is being passionate about what I do and constantly being creative in my scene and helping other people.
Okay. So, Walt, what motivates you to get up in the morning and do what you do?
The emails that I get every day, hundreds a day, is my motivational tool. So when a student wants to know how to play music or anything, I think of how me 8 years ago I was that student and I couldn't play guitar or whatever it was, and I think that it's my job to help them in the same way that I wish that someone had helped me. Okay. So that's my my tools. Like I got to be there for
Why don't you? I actually saw on one of your websites. It was kind of a success story. A kid wanted to learn how to play guitar for his girl or something.
Yeah. Okay, so the way that it works is that this kid wanted to know how to play guitar, and no one would help him. And I took half an hour of my time, made a couple videos, sent it along to him. Turns out that he learned how to play the song, and that it was his first kiss.
Great.
So that was like my big story. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
So do you get more success stories like that from the people that learn from you?
Every day.
That's gotta be motivation.
Yeah, and I mean that's a great story, of course. But I think that the really cool stories are the things like I had a bad day and you just made me smile. Cool. So like that to me is like the coolest thing, because for me, like, music makes me smile, and the fact that I can give that to someone else in the same way that it was given to me, that's the coolest.
All right, well, I want to thank you, Walt, and everything
thanks,
for
man.
everything.
It was awesome.
So why don't you, one more time, give everyone where they can go to learn more about what you do and kind of get their own lessons and everything.
Okay, well, yeah, everything about me can be found at my website, waltribeiro.net. And you can also like Google how to read music or any terms, and I'm the first result on all these terms, so I can be found there. But everything is at my website, waltribeiro.net.
And they can follow you on Twitter too?
Yeah, and my Twitter name is @WaltRibeiro, and that's the trick to business is branding, right? So my brand is Walt Ribeiro, so whether it's YouTube or Twitter or MySpace or, you know, Dig or my website, it's all Walt Ribeiro. Don't break the brand.